All right, we're going to just wait a couple more minutes, just because people are still filing into the room here. But thanks everybody for joining, and I'm excited to get started. Just we'll start this in 2 minutes. So. Hot out there, Sue Ann? Are you in Texas right now?
I'm actually in Arkansas today. It is 99 degrees. That's what I saw.
Oh my gosh. Oh my gosh.
When I drove the car into town to get a camera, a webcam.
Cool. Cool. All right. All right. Well, I'm going to get started. I want to thank everybody for joining us for a special edition of Insurance Hacks. Super excited about doing this with my partner in crime over in the state of Arkansas, Sue Ann Prim. We started Insurance Hacks, I don't know, a couple years ago as a method of exchanging information with the independent insurance agency community. A little about Archway. We do IT support for independent agencies. We've done it since 2011, support about 380 agencies all across the country. Let's see. Whoops.
That would be what, about 8,000 desktops and servers?
Something like that. My favorite slide, it's all about me. I'm Brad, I own Archway. I've been helping agencies with IT for 39 years. Spoken to thousands of insurance agents over the time period. Really love this community. The goal of the Insurance Hacks is to bring, industry experts, and we've got one in Sue Ann here, who can share with you how to accomplish more with your technology. But today we're going to be talking about how to accomplish more at the AppliedNet conference. Here's a very important slide. We have the insurance hangover prevention before the convention slide here. So we're going to be hosting a cocktail hour on Monday night. We're going to have some really amazing giveaways, including a $3,000 website redesign. There's going to be some very, very interesting people. And most importantly, we're going to be giving out our hangover kits. So if you haven't been to an insurance convention before, there are people that will be drinking adult beverages. Here's our special guest, Sue Ann, looking good. I've known Sue Ann for 20 plus years. Sue Ann is an industry veteran, both on the insurance agency side and on the technology side. She will tell you that I was nagging her for many, many years to come join Archway, and I believe her response was, "Will you stop nagging me if I join?" And I said yes, but I really haven't. I've continued to nag you. Let's see. If you're not attending AppliedNet 2024, here's why you should attend, right? There's some really great opportunities to network there. It's a fun time for sure. There are great educational sessions going on, networking opportunities with agencies smaller than yours, bigger than yours, etc. And then there's the exhibit hall where we'll be, where you can explore and find out about new products that are out there that may not be on your radar that can help you grow your agency. Okay, so I think I've gotten through everything. So Sue Ann, why don't you take this, the pre-conference checklist. What are you suggesting that folks be doing before they get on that airplane to go to the conference?
Well, hopefully you've already registered, right? And if you haven't, make sure that your accommodations are booked. The main hotel is Gaylord. Um, if they don't have a room available, there are some overflow hotels, but one of the things you can do is you can call your applied rep or you can call Applied Net and say, hey, do you have any extra rooms? Because usually they keep some in their pocket. So if you really want to stay there, that's an option for that. Um, just make sure you arrived at the airport early because there's always delays and I think the last couple of times we've been there, it's been over 4,000 people trying to get into Nashville. So if there are any travel issues, getting there early makes it easier for you to actually arrive. It's important that you review the agenda, right? I know that it's a lot of information, but go ahead and review it. And when I do it, I put a yes, no, and a maybe on the classes. I actually mark those, and then I go back and then review it again and again. Also, you want to make sure that if you are involved in your local chapter, go ahead and find out who's coming, who from the industry that you already know is going to be there. Because if you're going alone, you definitely want to connect with someone so that you've got a conference buddy. If you're going with someone from the office, then that, you kind of pretty much already got that done. The next most important thing, and this is what you need to be thinking about right now, is to set your goals. What do you want to accomplish while you're at conference, right?
Right.
So once you find the classes that you want to attend, if you have someone else from the agency that it's attending, make sure you're not going to the same classes, right? So you're going to work together to basically design your agenda. Also, while you're doing this, you need to talk with your staff, with your training department about how are you going to disseminate this information after you get back, right? And that's the thing. So what I would suggest is go ahead and schedule some calendar events or some events, put them on the calendar for the entire staff to say, this is what we learned. This is what we want to share with everyone else, right? So because if you wait until you get back, you're going to be out of office. If you're like me, you're snowed when you get back. And then by the time you get caught up, you've forgotten some of the stuff. So go ahead and schedule it so you've got it on the calendar.
Oh, I want to add a couple things here. So first of all, any questions, don't wait until the end. You can ask them via the chat, etc. And Hannah's monitoring that stuff. Number two, what I would really suggest you guys all do is, I don't know if you could see this, but this is the AppliedNet app. Make sure that you've downloaded it, that you've logged into it. You probably got an email from a long time ago, which has a code that you're to put in to your when you log in. And so make sure that you use the app. And one thing, when you're putting your information into the app, you can hide it from vendors so that you're not getting connected or emailed or called by every vendor that's out there. But I think it's important to fill out the information in it so that your peers can connect with you via LinkedIn, via any social that you've got going on. All right. And there's some pretty lively discussions that you'll see going on in that. Okay.
So Brad's going to go to the next slide. So
yes,
he just talked about is downloading the conference app. Now, which actually, so remember, you can connect with friends that way too. So if you meet somebody in a class and you get their name, you'll be able to look them up. You can send them an instant message. Hey, let's meet for a breakfast, or let's meet for cocktails. Not that I would know anything about cocktails. So it says print your material. In today's age, people don't print a lot. have some kind of device so that you can get the material that you need that's available to you, which it is on the app. If you want to print it, go ahead and feel like printing it. If you just want to take notes, make sure you take a notebook. But be to gather the information. Next
Yeah.
is make sure and bring, I cannot tell you how many times people said, oh, I forgot to bring my business cards, right? Go ahead and bring your business cards. You want to also in the rooms, the conference rooms, some of the larger ones are so cold. They're intended for a lot of people and they have a hard time regulating the temperature. So make sure you bring a light sweater or jacket, something to keep you warm so you're not miserable in the sessions. Also, the Gaylord is huge. It's absolutely huge. Oh, I was supposed to have a prop. I was going to show you my my exhibit hall high heels that I wear, and then my my tennis shoes. There's
This is my prop, Sue Ann. All these.
oh, all of his badges.
Yes, yes. But there's a reason why I want to bring that up.
But so make sure you bring comfortable shoes. I cannot tell you the number of times I've watched these beautiful women in these gorgeous outfits with these 4-inch heels walking around the exhibit hall, and every step they're wincing, right? So just make sure you bring some comfortable shoes. If you want to bring some, some heels, that's great too. Put them in your bags. Let's see what else we have. Check in with your team. This is, again, you want to make sure with your team, coordinate all of this stuff. Brad, would you go to the next checklist, please?
Yeah, but just before I do that, so here's a badge from, I don't know, a couple of years Applied Net. Now, the thing I want to tell you all about is depending on whether you're an exhibitor or you're an attendee, the color of the lanyard and what's on the lanyard is going to check that. So sometimes you don't want to talk to an exhibitor, and at least this is sort of a tip-off that this guy's trying to sell you something. All right. Okay. All right. Day of checklist.
So always continuously review your schedule, right? Because if anything is going to change, it will show it on the app. So if the topic has changed, if the classroom has changed, it will show it on the app. Eat a good breakfast full of blueberries if they're the brain food, right? Make sure you put something in your stomach. Applied will offer breakfast. It's usually high in carbs. It'll be pastries, that kind of stuff. So if you're wanting some protein, make sure you do that ahead of time. There are a number of restaurants in the Gaylord. We've already talked about you bringing your business cards and your sweaters and everything. When you're getting ready to go, especially if you've got a class that's really important, go ahead and get there as early as you can. Now, there are going to be breaks in between, right? So catch your bathroom break and then get to the class. Otherwise, you're going to end up standing in the back of the room. Or you'll have to walk, the hall of shame all the way up to the very front desk where no one ever sits. So arrive early to classes so you can get the seats that you want. And network.
Yeah.
Go ahead, Brad.
No, I can't tell you how many of some of the great exhibitions that I've been to where I've had to stand in it. And I also can't tell you how many people I've met by being one of the few that is sitting and, just catching the reactions that we both have, or the people on my sides have, to what's being spoken about, and then having conversations afterwards. To me, that's where the magic happens at these events.
So what I will tell you, I've been in the insurance industry since 1992. And what I can tell you is that every agency management vendor will teach you and show you how the product is intended to work. When you talk to other users of that product, they will tell you how they get the product to work for their agency. That's why it's so important to network, right? You may not know it when someone else may. Also, if you go to the AppliedNet users group, there are a lot of blogs on there. So if you have questions, you want to be asking the other users for that. So and networking is a super important part of this. Make sure you bring those business cards.
Yeah,
Brad,
and I hate to be negative, but sometimes you'll find out from other users that this is a feature that's never worked right. It's never going to work. It's a product that doesn't work, etc. And so it's important that you get the negative feedback about things sometimes. Okay.
next slide.
Yeah, sorry. All right. Day of
Okay.
checklist, part
Yes.
2.
So one of the things that you want to do is coordinate with your staff. Do they have questions about, do they have questions for specific vendors, specific carriers? Maybe they're interested in some products. Gather those questions, get the exhibit hall map, and circle those exhibitors. These are the ones I want to see. And what I will tell you is during the receptions, everybody is, the most popular place is going to be in front of the bar, right? But it's very busy in the evenings. One of the things that happens is there's a pretty long lunch break. So if you have some exhibitors that you need to get some answers from, go ahead and see them during your lunch break, before or after you get your lunch. That's an easy way. There's usually not as many people in the exhibit hall and you don't have to wait. The other thing is to book it in advance. There's contact information on in the app, also on the AppliedNet website, right? Which will give you the if you want to book it ahead of time, that'll be available. Okay. We already talked about arriving to classes early. This is an important one. You need to take some breaks. Please do not book every minute of every day with classes and meetings. If you do, you will be overwhelmed at the end of the day and probably not as retain as much as you could. So leave an open slot at least one time during the day for you to regroup and recharge. I know it sounds counterintuitive. Everybody's paying a lot to get there. Everybody's paying a lot for the conference, but this is important. This is the time when you get to think about, what do I still need to do? You just get to say, because there's so much action going on. Make sure you're drinking plenty of water. One of the things that doesn't happen at any of these conferences is that if you want water, it'll be out during the breaks, but then they pick it up. So carry your bottles of water with you, right? They will give you a conference bag. Make sure you've got bottles in there. Even if you've got, even if all you're doing is using a plastic bottle and refilling it, right? Make sure you've always got water. And then the next thing, again, I have been to over 25 conferences, or for 25 years, I've been going to conferences, more than that, actually. And inevitably, on the first day, when everybody gets there, they're always excited. You can feel the excitement in the air, and they tend to over imbibe, right? And when you drink too much, the next day, you're ripped.
That's unless they have a hangover kit that we're going to be providing it to people that join us.
So I'm not going to tell you not to drink because everybody's going to drink anyway. Just pace yourself in the beginning. Save the too much consuming of alcohol till the last night. They have a big party. I think it's probably downtown. They'll bus everybody there. They bus you back. You don't have to worry about it. And make sure you have a drinking buddy so that if you drink too much, someone is going to make sure you get back to your room.
Yeah. You know this from experience, Sue Ann?
I do. And I have to tell you that in the past, I have escorted some of the users groups past presidents to their room stumbling. Not find their room. Okay, that's actually another tip that we forgot to add is the Gaylord is huge. Make sure you know what section your room is in. They have the Delta, they have the Magnolia, they have the Cascades. They have it's the one that's like the big terrarium, and I always forget the name of it. But know where your room is and how to move around. It's a challenge if you haven't been to the Gaylord before.
Yeah, it is. You will truly get in your steps at this
Oh, most
conference.
definitely, most
Yeah,
definitely.
yeah.
I'm gonna tell you my little secret. If you want to get close to the conference, see if you can get in the Magnolia section or the Delta section. That's going to be as close to the conference as you can get. And that's actually as far away from the front door as you can get. So I'm gonna so it says send thank you notes or emails to messages you met. These are always nice afterwards. And my suggestion is you do it when it's right in front of you. I'm so glad I got to meet you. Here's my contact information. You send them an email because you've gotten their email, not just on the app, right? You want to be able to get in touch with them. Make sure you connect on LinkedIn or any of the other social media platforms that you're active in. Schedule the follow-up meetings with anyone that you need to do that with, and go ahead and do it while you're there, because again, once you get back, you're going to be snowed from trying to pull out from all your other emails, right? And now conference is on the back of your mind instead of on the front. And again, the value of this conference is sharing the information that you learned, even if all you learn is a couple of different usernames or a couple of vendor names. You're like, these people were really great, let's connect with them. So let's see, do I have any more tips? I think that's it. And enjoy yourself. This is an opportunity. It's a unique conference in the insurance industry. Like I said, expect a lot of people everywhere. When the exhibit hall opens for the first, I'll tell you, as an exhibitor, we're standing there, they open the doors, and it's like a herd of rushing cattle stampeding in, right? It's a lot of people, so just be prepared.
Yeah,
and come and see us.
Yeah, come and see us. I'm most looking forward to seeing clients that many of which I've never met personally, and meeting agencies at our booth over a beer, who can tell me how they're dealing with some of their technology challenges. Question I have for you, Sue Ann, is they have their group. I'm blanking on the name. Lady Annie Bell is playing, and they'll be giving out free tickets for that. And I've gone to some of their concerts at the Opry, whatever, the Grand Ole Opry. That's pretty near. It was walking distance for us. Anyway, should people be trying to get their tickets as soon as possible when they go in, or should they just be, talking to their applied rep about getting the best seats? And I didn't have good seats, but they were still, it's a great place to watch a concert.
Brad, you brought up an excellent point. If you plan on staying in the hotel and eating in the hotel and any of the dinner places, go ahead and book those now, because with as many attendees as we have, all of those, they all get backed up. They have no reservations. So if you go ahead, if you know for sure that you're going to get together with, other people from another agency or your applied rep or any of the vendors, go ahead and book that.
Anything that you want to address on this slide, Sue Ann?
No,
we're good. Okay.
Yes, I think we did, and we need to ask for questions.
Yeah. So first of all, if you want to book a meeting with me or with Sue Ann, yeah, you could do that through this QR code that should be sitting up on your screens. I so much appreciate you guys all attending this. We're This is the only conference that we go to that I am really excited about going to because it's just got electricity. It's just a lot of energy with it. You're walking down the hallways and you're looking at people's name badges and, oh my God, I haven't seen you in 3 years, et cetera, et cetera. So it's a great it's a great conference, and we're looking forward to seeing you there. Now I'm going to just open it up for any questions that anybody has, and don't be shy. We'll have a recording of this that we'll send out to you. But Sue Ann, any questions for me?
Do I have any questions? Are you going to help put up the booth this time?
No, I'm completely incompetent when it comes to that sort of stuff. Yeah, so a top tip for a first-time attendee, I guess, is like Sue Ann was saying, sort of study the program and also study the map of the hotel. I can't tell you, the first time I was at the Gaylord, I couldn't find my room, and there are people there and I hadn't been drinking, but there are people there to help you, and there are shortcuts, and there are very, very long cuts to get to your place.
Top tip for a newcomer, here's what I would say. If you are by yourself, find a conference buddy, right? Whether you find them when you're checking in at the hotel, at the first show, don't be afraid to say, I'm here alone and I need to have some conference buddies. And if you can't find anyone, come find me.
Yes,
right?
We can be your conference buddies.
And I can hang with you and I can introduce you some.
All right. Well, again, I want to thank everybody for attending. Really appreciate your time, and we'll see you in Nashville.
We hope to see you at the pre-conference party. We do have some hangover kits that we're gonna be handing out, plus some really cool prizes.
Yeah, and we will be having our pre-conference party on Monday, September 9th at 7 p.m. at the Falls Lounge at the Gaylord. So please RSVP to that. Thought I saw somebody's hand go up. Let's see. I don't see any questions here. Rashid, do you want to chat us in the chat, or you can simply email me. You can email me, brad@myarchway.com, with any questions that you I haven't been able to answer. All right. Well, thank you again, guys. And again, we'll see you in Nashville. Thanks, Sue Ann.
Great job, Brad.